Hey folks, it's JK and I am back today after quite a long time to bring you a brand new Skyrim build. I'm going to be making Jon Snow, Bastard of Winterfell from the show Game of Thrones within the world of Skyrim. As with any modded build, the three main required mods are going to be Ordinator, Perks of Skyrim, Andromeda, Unique Standing Stones of Skyrim, and Imperious, Races of Skyrim. Apocalypse, Spells of Skyrim is not a requirement because Jon Snow doesn't use any magic, and I also have some cool mods listed for his equipment later in the video. If you wish to skip to any specific part of the video, there are timestamps in the description along with all the required and recommended mods. Now let's get started. Character creation. Jon Snow, while a bastard, is still a Stark and so his race will be a Nord. This will give him a starting health of 110, magicka of 85, and stamina of 105, which will be perfect for his playstyle. He will also get extra frost resistance, extra damage dealt to a chosen race, picked every 10 levels, and the ability to deal more damage the less health he has while in combat. This will make it viable to fight at low HP to the last of his abilities. By clearing 8 dungeons, he will also unlock a temporary power which can be used once a day, and it will allow him to regenerate his stamina really quickly in a short period of time. The stats allocation for this build will be 50% health and 50% stamina. This is a perfect balance for the build considering its playstyle. For the standing stone, I have chosen the warrior stone. While a simple solution, it will fit perfectly with his playstyle, giving him 10% faster leveling to all his warrior skills along with 15% extra power attack damage. His unlockable power, which is granted when finding every standing stone in the game, will also allow him to invoke the warrior and refill health and stamina and fortify them by the amount restored for 30 seconds. This means a lot of extra health and stamina when activated. Backstory. Keep in mind that fitting characters from one fictional world into another can be hard and not so lore friendly, so I tried to keep it as brief and as lore friendly as I could. In Skyrim, Jon Snow is the bastard son of an ancient Windhelm family's leader, Ned Stark. His mother is but a wench from the Kennel Hearth Hall, but Ned has enough of a heart to still keep Jon in his home. Years later, on a trip to the capital city of Solitude, most of the Stark family is murdered by the Imperials, and Jon, being a Snow, a bastard, doesn't inherit any land or money, and no one offers him any help, so he is left on his own to get revenge and make a living in the province of Skyrim. He will join the Companions to get contracts and to have a guild to help him train his combat abilities, and then he will join the Cloaks to get revenge for his family and defeat the Imperials while making a name for himself. Once the Vampire Menace comes to Skyrim, he will also join the Dawnguard to help fight them off and keep Skyrim safe. One of his goals will be to do as many side quests, Thane quests, and similar types of quests to help the people of Skyrim and to, once again, make a name for himself while earning some coin on the side. Skills and perks. Jon Snow's main skills will be light armor, one-handed, block, and smithing. I chose these because his combat style is going to be fast sword and shield attacks, and smithing will allow him to improve his blade, Longclaw, as he levels, making it useful no matter what stages of playthrough you are in. Here are the specific perks for each of the skills. Light armor. Light armor mastery, 2 out of 2. This is a must-have, simply improves armor rating, no brainer. Light armor fit. This perk improves armor rating by 25% when in full light armor, another no brainer. Initiative, 2 out of 2. Improves stamina regen in the first 15 seconds of combat. Keen senses. Actually gives you 20% more armor rating for not wearing a helmet, but it still allows you to use wearing all light armor perks like light armor fit. Unhindered. Light armor no longer slows you down and so it improves your movement speed. Windrunner. Boosts your speed in combat by 10%. Into the Maelstrom. You take 10% less damage when in combat with more than one enemy. Fight or flight. When hit in combat, a small amount of stamina is regenerated for 6 seconds, and this pairs nicely with Survival Instinct. When hit in combat, you get 10% more movement speed for 6 seconds. One-handed. One-handed mastery, 2 out of 2. 50% more attack damage, must-have perk. Clash of Champions, 3 out of 3. Attacks with swords reduce 20% of the target's attack damage for 3 seconds. Cross-cut, 2 out of 2. Unblock regular attacks with a sword, increase the damage of your power attacks by 50% for 4 seconds. Falling Sword. Forward power attacks make enemies bleed, and when the enemy is under 25%, critical strikes do 10 times the damage. Windswept. Sideways power attacks make targets fly backwards, dealing more damage based on distance. Not only a useful perk, but also a fun one. Into the Dust and Judgment. These two perks will buff your power attacks, and stamina, but more importantly, they will allow you to unlock Wandering Warrior. Whenever you defeat more than 4 enemies in a battle, you get a permanent 1% attack damage increase with one-handed weapons with a cap of 20%. Block. Block Mastery, 2 out of 2. Block 20% more damage. Pretty self-explanatory. Quick Reflexes. Time slows if you block during an enemy's power attack. Deflect Arrows. Getting hit by an arrow while blocking does 50% less damage, and if it hits the shield, 0% damage. A great perk for dealing with annoying archers. Dominion. Block 25% damage from all directions while blocking. Power Bash. Holding down attack while blocking does a power bash. Skull Rattler. Bashing does 3% more damage per point of stamina. Cast Aside. Interrupting an attack with a power bash knocks the attacker to the ground every 30 seconds. Unstoppable Force. Able to sprint with a shield raised, which knocks enemies in your path to the ground. Costs 10 stamina per second. Smithing. Smithing Mastery, 2 out of 2. You can create steel items at a forge, and they can be improved 2 times as much. All items can be improved 10% more. Merrick, 1 out of 2, and Expert, 1 out of 2, Smithing. Will allow you to craft glass, chitin, scaled, Nordic, and plate items at a forge. You don't need both levels of the perks because you only need to craft light armor, and the second levels of the perks will allow you to craft heavy armor, which in this case isn't used. That's all of the perks that you will need, and it will take up a total of 35 perk points to unlock them all. Equipment and Companions. For Jon Snow's equipment, I have chosen 3 great mods that will fit perfectly with him. All of these are listed in the description, available for both PC Legendary Edition and Special Edition, and Xbox One Special Edition. If you're playing on PlayStation, you will sadly need to make do with vanilla items. The first mod is the Longclaw Sword, which will serve as Jon's main weapon. It's a beautiful one-handed sword that can be crafted and is a must-have for this build. For the armor, I have chosen the Night's Watch leather armor from the Game of Thrones armor compilation mod, along with the dark wolfskin cloak from the Winter is Coming Cloaks mod. As for the shield, I chose the Stark shield from the Stark shield mod, another beautiful item for this character, although sadly it's only available for Legendary Edition Skyrim. Instead, you can also just use a steel or better shield from the vanilla game, which will still look nice and still fit with Jon Snow's character. So, that concludes this build. I hope you have enjoyed my take on Jon Snow in Skyrim, and I hope that I did him justice. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.